What is it really like to be a foreigner in Nigeria? Part 2. In this one, I've decided to look at more videos from other foreigners here and just kind of talk about how I can or cannot relate. Like some of them, I cannot relate at all, and I have something to say about that. And also talk about my own experience a little bit more. Yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, my own experience. What is it like living here?
I don't know.
I have been blessed to have lived in lots of different countries. I was actually born in England. I was raised in Australia because my parents are adventurous and also, you know, have the privilege and the means to be able to move around. Then when I was 17, I decided to just go to India. And ever since then, I've been kind of moving around. I went to India, Vietnam, Cambodia, Nepal. I had never been to Africa as a continent before, let alone to West Africa, let alone to Nigeria. So I had no idea what to expect. And you know, if you're following my channel, you'll know that I came here for love. I fell in love with a guy who I met whilst in Asia. Actually, he was visiting a mutual friend there. And then, you know, after a long while of like meeting up and long distance and things, I was like, I need to be where he is. So I came over here and I've just kind of been in the West Africa area since then. But yeah, honestly, I had no idea what to expect when I came here. I do have to say that there are definitely preconceived misconceptions, definitely, but like ideas about Nigeria around the world. If you're watching from the UK, the US, Canada, anywhere, Australia, maybe you will know what I'm talking about. The world's perception of Nigeria does not really line up with the reality. But having lived in so many different places, I always go with an open mind. I don't listen too much to what people are telling me because I figure I'll find out when I get there. Yeah. And my experience, first and foremost, people are cool. People are friendly and people are funny. When I meet somebody here, you know, a stranger, and I might run into someone on the street, or I might be introduced to a new friend, or you know, I'm just walking around in a public space and people notice I'm there, there's always such friendly vibes. People will be yelling Oyibo, Oyibo. People will want to know where I'm from. People will be curious about me. And I don't know, I have to say, sometimes because I'm quite a shy person, I do feel a little bit overwhelmed, as I'm sure I've mentioned before. But like, overall, this is such a positive thing. It's super welcoming to have people curious about you and to have people wanting to welcome you into their country and to learn about you and also share their own lives with you, which is the vibe I get here, right? Just quickly, I want to thank today's video sponsor, Tenalytics. They help Africans in the diaspora and career switchers in general in the US, UK, and Canada land high-paying tech roles using proven strategies that get results. You'll get CV tailoring, access to paid job boards, expert mentorship, opportunities to upskill, and even guaranteed job interviews. Check out Tenalytics after this video at the link in the description to find out more. So, as I was saying, I did not know what cruise was till I came to Nigeria. Honestly, I didn't know how to tease people properly. I didn't know how to be teased. I very much struggle to read between the lines when people communicate with me anyway. I guess, you know, I'm maybe on a different wavelength in that sense. So like, it was a learning curve to understand, they're being sarcastic. Yes! They're teasing me. But now that I've got it, it's so much fun. The kind of banter people have with one another here, and also, of course, between neighboring countries. I mean, have you seen Nigeria and Ghana? Like, there are a lot of opportunities to love with one another. That's what I'm trying to say. I love how the streets here are alive. It's a bit like Vietnam in that people live their lives kind of outside. Not all people. You know, it depends on your job and your way of life and all that. But put it this way, where I'm from in Australia, you'd be lucky if you see another person on the streets. And if you do see another person on the street, don't say hello. If you don't know them, if they're a stranger, do not say hello. Don't even act like you've seen them. Don't even acknowledge them because you'll freak them out. They don't want to be perceived by you. They don't know you. Most people would be moving around inside their cars. They've got places to be. There's a lot less kind of interaction and human life around the place in where I'm from in Australia. Whereas here, if you go outside, you will see people selling food. You will see people offering motorbike taxis. You will see market stall sellers. You'll see people just like kind of getting from A to B, you know, doing their business, going through, doing their business. Doing business? Or is that the same thing? Making money, hustling, that kind of thing, Abby. Yes. And of course, when you pass someone, you can say well done. You can say hello. You can greet anybody, stranger or not a stranger. And I don't think that it's possible to feel like dead and lonely here. Whereas, I'm so sorry, I come from a beautiful part of Australia, but I do have to say, I did feel quite dead and lonely quite often. It's one of the reasons I left. Another significant part of being here as a foreigner is how different the food is. Basically, I was used to eating a wide variety of things. And you know, there are many different restaurants and stuff in Lagos that you can try out. As soon as you go outside Lagos to other parts of Nigeria, and I do move around, there's less variety because there's less demand. People are not necessarily craving tabbouleh. It's still around, it's still available, but it's less easy. So that is an experience that I have. I don't know if one could call it negative or positive, really. It's just the reality. Alongside this, I've also been exploring a lot of Yoruba food. My boyfriend is Yoruba, and he quite likes to eat Yoruba food, which means that I haven't had a huge opportunity to be eating other cuisines, because of course, if we're usually together, we eat together, why would we cook two separate things? Why would we order two separate, you know what I mean? I know there is much more in Nigeria than just Yoruba food, but Yoruba food has been my experience so far, and I have to say, the flavors, some of them are very strange to me. I'm being totally honest with you. For example, palm oil. At first, that was very strange. Pomo. I still haven't quite managed to reconcile myself with pomo. I accept that it is a thing. Like, I don't like it. However, as you will have seen from my content, I have been experiencing learning how to cook all these different Yoruba dishes and like falling in love, much to my waistline's disgust, with all of these different dishes. And now I eat mainly Yoruba food. All of that to say, the reality of living here as a foreigner is you may not have access to the cuisines that you're used to, and the food that you do have access to might taste quite different to what you're used to, but stick with it. By the time you've been here for a while, you will be forgetting about all the other stuff. Also, there is some overlap here with Vietnam. Most foreigners who come here may not have come straight from a decade in Vietnam, right? But for me, that's where I spent most of my adulthood. So anytime I see a similarity between Nigeria and Vietnam, it makes me feel really comfortable. For example, the roads. The way the roads work here in Nigeria is very similar to how they work in Vietnam. To the untrained eye, it may look chaotic, but actually, it's a system of coexistence. You have to know how to flow with the current, how to fit in, how to time your own momentum with everyone else's momentum. And the traffic pulses. I love driving in Vietnam, and I actually kind of love driving in Nigeria too. I love it. Anyway, let's now look at other Oyibo's experiences of this beautiful country and talk a little bit about that. I don't know, I came across some pretty controversial ones this time that I thought I have to speak on this. Yeah, let's get into that.
Number 2, work culture. People here are very chilled at work, sleeping in the corner, taking it easy, not stressing too much. Now, from the perspective of someone raised in Poland and then jackpot to England to work hard, this one shocked me. Life in the West is hustle. Now just say relax more, but it don't be firewood. So you that is in Nigeria, are you sure you want to jump out of the country? It's not easy for any of those countries where you think, oh.
Maybe there is a perception that if you can japa and go to the UK, the US, even Australia, that you will be earning lots of money and your life will change. And unfortunately, the reality is that over there, if you're a billionaire, okay, life is sweet, or anywhere in the world, Nigeria, UK, who cares, life is sweet. But if you are not a billionaire, whilst you might be earning a lot of money, by the end of the month, it's probably all going to have gone, because you've also had to be spending a lot of money on rent, food, electricity, all this stuff. Look, it's a generalization, but if you are planning to leave this beautiful Nigeria, make sure you plan out and research the place where you're going to first. Maybe connect with some people who are there and ask them what's life really like, and then make your informed decision, right?
Number 3, arguments. The way people can shout and argue with themselves like they're about to fight, and then the next day they are best friends again. Me, if I argue with you like that, I will talk to you for the next 10 years.
See, I don't like to argue. I hate confrontation. In fact, there are a few friends that I've had in my life where I probably should have told them, this is how I'm actually feeling. You hurt me. I don't agree with what you're doing. Uncomfortable conversations. I can't even have uncomfortable conversations with friends. I don't want to. So I am still learning the art of a good, healthy argument. And I think that's what it is. Mostly, I think it is probably healthy. A bit?
Lastly, evening vibes. At night, young ladies just walk outside wearing only nightwear, and men wearing only towel. I beg, what does this mean, Nigerians? Please explain this culture to me. I don't know. Is it young ladies just walk outside wearing only nightwear? I beg, which region be that? Might relocate.
Wee. Hey, where have you been seeing ladies wearing nightwear and men wearing only a white towel? I don't see that anywhere. Look, I'm sure that it really depends on which part of the country and also that like which part of which city, you know, like, so I can't relate to this one either, but that is not to say that it's not a thing. Maybe it is, I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments, is that a thing? Okay, so I came back from Iyake Lake on Sunday, and I don't know if you can see anymore. It's still a bit sore. Basically, I don't have melanin. I am the color of the moon. Oh! Even if I get burned by the sun, I don't really tan. I just go white again because my skin's like, I tried. So yes, look, it's a thing. The sun is a very powerful instrument. Since being in Nigeria, I've been really careful with sun cream. I even bought some more sun cream here, which I love actually. I think it's the best sun cream I've ever used. Just because I'm fully aware that if I don't, I will end up looking like an elephant before the age of 50 because my skin will be really wrinkly and sun damaged. I don't want that, especially since my boyfriend will probably end up looking 30 for the rest of his life. I'm careful. Look, I'm aware that this might be rage bait, but like I'm about to get pretty raging. Who goes to a country and then makes content only about what they don't like about the country? I guess for engagement. Ah, my gosh, and I'm engaging as well. Let's not only watch this here, don't watch this on that page.
Okay.
Darling, there are many breeds of cows in the world. What if these cows are just supposed to be skinny ones? You know, what if they're just extra bony? They're not like your average European or American or, you know, the fat ones. Also, a lot of them are nomadic cows. They don't feed them well. Who is they? I beg. Nobody is feeding these cows. They're wandering around, eating the grass, eating the trees. Even this very cow that she has taken a photo of is in the middle of edible things. I don't think it's a human being's fault if this cow does not choose to eat. And look, to be fair, I don't know how many of the cows in Nigeria are owned by nomadic herders and therefore, you know, feed themselves, and how many of the cows in Nigeria have got an owner who keeps them in one place and has them food. I don't know. I would love for you to educate me in the comments if you have time. She just wants me to be pissed off. Why are you scared of a lizard? Why are you scared of a lizard? Lizards are adorable. They have really big feet with like squishy toes. Lizards are wonderful. They eat the flies, they eat the spiders.
They're eating the dog, they're eating the cats.
Look, I would understand if there was like a hungry, angry, injured lion inside your room. Fair enough. Probably don't want to share a room with a hungry, angry, injured lion. Look, a human being, any kind of suspicious and scary human being, fine, I would follow you out of that window. But a lizard? It's not dangerous though. It's just going to eat the flies and the spiders and then it's just going to poo a little bit on the floor and you'll just have to clean that up.
Yummy.
We coexist. Okay, so she's filming an incident where something happened on the road and people are pissed off. And she's saying that that defines Nigerian organization and noise. What? Look, I'm sorry, but a traffic accident, an altercation, road rage, anywhere in the world, in particular the US, which I think is where she's from, is bad.
Yeah.
It's always going to be loud and chaotic. Always. So it's completely unfair to take a video of this and then be like, ah, this is Nigeria. No, this is angry people on a road in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so the many roadblocks that you do find here, some of them are police, some of them are other people, you know, like there's all sorts of different types of roadblocks. They're not just looking for foreigners on the road. No. Everybody, whether it's a public transport bus or a Lexus, you still have to pass through these roadblocks. They're not targeting anyone in particular, basically, which her post kind of makes it sound like that. Also, she should remember that, you know, whilst as an Oyibo, you can get people asking you for money, you got to acknowledge the privilege that being a foreigner affords you here too. Perhaps she could focus on the bigger picture, which is that there are pros and there are cons, and at the end of the day, she is lucky to be here, full stop.
Yes!
Anybody who has the opportunity to travel outside their country is so lucky. And I think this is the most rage baity of all. Suya shops are not charities now. It doesn't exist to like provide you with free stuff. Are you okay? Oh. It's a street food business. People are buying the meats, preparing it, cooking it, packaging it, paying for the space and the utensils and the everything to provide you with a product that you buy and you enjoy, because suya is delightful. Yes! So she says that there's a part 2. I mean, look, I hope she hasn't posted it. Let's look. This video was in 2022. Okay, yeah, we're just a little bit late to the party. It's been 4 years. Maybe this poor young lady has matured and changed, and all of this is like me getting rage baited for no reason. But in my defense, she pinned the post on her page.
I want Bambi to go and price fish and meat.
How much is a pound? Right?
No, it's not a pound.
Oh, how much is a kilo?
It's a kilo.
Kilo 7,000.
Can I do it for 200?
Why are you looking at me? I'm not here. Price your fish.
I said 400. She said no.
Try to convince her.
From 7,000 to 400 naira.
So is that too low?
Only Bolotiwa. Ibolotiwa.
7,000 naira.
4,000 is the last offer.
What did you say?
Eloi Johnny?
Eh? No, that's not what I said. I said Eloni Jale.
Eloni Johnny.
7,000.
Yeah.
Hey, Baba, 6'5".
No, say it properly. Say Te Bagba 6'5". Monlo.
Hey, Baba, 6'5". Oh, well.
7,000.
I guess I lost.
So this one, I find it so hard to price things at the market, and it's not because I don't know how to bargain. When I was living in Vietnam, I speak Vietnamese. I also know what the prices should be in Vietnamese. But here in Nigeria, I don't know what the price is. So as soon as I know what the price is, you better believe I'm going into that market and I am bargaining. And the aunties and the uncles, the mommies and the daddies, they will know who I am. But for now, I would be the same. I'd be like, I'm not sure, I don't know, I'm not sure. So that's a little bit of insight into what it's like to be a foreigner, an Oyibo in Nigeria, and what it's not like. Thank you again to Tenalytics for sponsoring this video. And again, if you want to find out more, the link is in the description and the first pinned comment on this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I would be very grateful and love you forever. Yeah, leave me a sun emoji, because, I mean, why not? It's the first thing that came to my mind. Or a chameleon emoji. If you can find a chameleon or something that like reminds you of a chameleon / lizard, I mean, I would definitely accept that as well. And